It's easy to get spoiled doing high profile trials, and sometimes I wish they were all high profile. This one, I don't think, has quite that high a profile. Here's what we're talking about today. In just a moment, you're going to see why the district attorney, or the ADA, I guess, the assistant, needed to have a PowerPoint to go through her opening statement. And that's because she's going to have some trouble asking questions, because she knows she has to ask them as open ended questions. The first time that I ever got up to do a direct exam after having done hundreds of depositions, first time was a medical negligence case. It was in Columbia, Missouri. And we had a crusty old judge. She was just, just a little bit younger than Moses, but she was very much a stickler on the language of questions. And of course, the defense team knew that I was relatively new at this, and they couldn't wait to throw a monkey wrench into my lap on direct examination. And when you do depositions, you go at them a little bit different. You say things like, "Now, Ms. Smith, you're a nurse, right?" "Yes, I'm a nurse." "As a nurse, you know you have to monitor your patients, right?" "Yeah, right." Well, all of those are leading questions, which are absolutely phenomenal on cross examination, but not so much in terms of being a direct examination. So when I got up there, I went into my deposition mode and I got objection, leading. I'm like, okay. And then for the life of me, I could not think of how to ask the questions in a non leading way. It was like somebody took a drill and went right in here and just went and took out every brain cell I had. So the partner that I was working with got up, took his glasses off, and whispered in my ear, "Ask it this way." I'm like, okay. So I asked it that way. And then I mimicked that for the rest of the direct exam. And after that witness was done, when we hit the break, he said, "Have you never done a direct exam before?" And I said, "No, I've always done depositions. You sent me from hither, thither, and yon all over the country doing depositions, and you get to ask leading questions in a deposition." He said, "Yeah, you need to work on that." Well, no kidding. But this is one of the problems with examining witnesses, particularly for an ADA. You want to keep the conversation moving. You want to be able to ask questions in a way that gets good responses, which means you absolutely have to prep your witness. But this trial is occurring in Fulton County, Georgia. It's a big county. They have a lot of crime. They have a lot of murders. And as a result of that, the ADAs wind up doing murder trials, even maybe when they're not exactly ready for prime time. And watch what happens in this first little bit of questioning of the witness.
After we detained them towards the residence.
All right. And was the female in one of those two vehicles, Miss Callahan?
I can't recall. I
Okay.
can't recall her name.
Okay. Do you recall the male?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. And so you detained the two people that were coming out of the property.
Yes.
Please explain to the jurors why.
So whenever we receive a call in reference to anybody being shot or a call of anything of that nature, we don't want anyone leaving the scene just to do the investigation purposes. So I'm saying no one was under arrest. We just wanted to detain them, just just until we figured out what was going on.
And what was their response to you detaining them?
They weren't happy at all.
Okay. And did you just detain those two?
Initially, yes, but there are other individuals we detained later.
Okay.
Now, before I put any witness on the stand, I went back and showed them the statement that I'd taken from them. this is what you told me when we first met, and then this is your deposition. I need you to read through it. I've highlighted the questions you're likely to be asked by the other side, and I've also laid out the questions that I'm going to ask you. I need you to read through this and let me know if you have any questions. And then you sit there with them while they read through it. You don't let them take it home so they can read it and study it. No, you can do that with the deposition, but not with your set of questions, because the problem with that is they won't actually look at it. They'll take the deposition and they'll forget to look at it. They'll need to fix dinner, or, they'll need to change a flat tire. Who knows what will come up, but something will come up that will keep them from actually reviewing the deposition, and then they look like an idiot on the stand. So you prep your witness, and then you go through an examination with your witness. These are the questions I'm going to ask you, and you ask them. Well, plaintiff's lawyers have some time to do that, because when we get ready for a case, we're usually trying to get ready for it for about 3 to 4 weeks before we actually go into the courtroom. With an ADA, particularly in a really busy, department like that one, I suspect she didn't have time to sit down and prep this witness. So I wonder if he actually reviewed the police reports before he testified. Seems to me that would have been a good question to ask him, because it looks like there's a lot of things he doesn't remember. And you can bet that if he doesn't remember a few things, that's going to be a source of cross-examination.
And after detaining those two, what did you and Officer Castor do next?
So we moved towards the residence after detaining them. So coming up on the residence, it was the residence, and to the left of the residence, it was an open area, which was also where uh the male who appeared to be deceased, and then there were other individuals walking around in that area later claiming to be cleaning up. So we observed that male, and then the other individuals, we gathered them. We wanted to consolidate them, and also clear the house as well. We wanted to make sure the scene was safe first. That's the main thing we want to do, but responding on the call.
So making the scene safe, as you mentioned, we're going to talk about what that means. That's your first priority?
Yes.
Okay. What does it mean to make a scene safe?
To make sure there isn't any threat still in the area. Just we wanted to make sure there's no threat, and make sure everything's secure.
Okay. And how do you do that?
In this situation, we detained everyone that was there outside initially. We went inside the residence, cleared the residence, got everybody that was inside the residence out, and in that situation, that was pretty much it at that point.
Right. So prior to addressing the person that's laying on the ground,
Okay.
you cleared the scene.
Yes.
Would this also be prior to taking anybody's statement?
Yes.
Okay. And were people trying to talk to you?
No, I don't recall anyone trying to talk to me. No.
Okay. Throughout your time at the scene, did anyone try to talk to you?
Oh, throughout the time, yes, yes, yes.
Right. Now, to understand this driveway, you said it was a long driveway.
Yes.
And this driveway, does it come off of Pittman Road or somewhere else?
Yeah, it comes off of Pittman Road. Yes.
Okay. And how long would you say this driveway is from the road all the way up to the residence?
It's a good ways. I'll say a little less than half a mile, a little less than a half a mile long.
Okay. And is it equipped to handle two separate vehicles at coming and going? So like a two-way?
Barely, barely. You'll have to really move to the side to allow another vehicle to pass.
So are you on the edge of your seat from this riveting testimony? No, you're not. Some of what goes on has to be a little bit boring, things like foundation and that sort of thing. But this is not a good witness because he's not a good storyteller. He's trying hard to remember this. It's been a couple of years, I guess, since this event took place, and he's doing the best that he can, but he's just not connecting. Well, if I'm sitting on the jury, he's not connecting with me. If you feel I'm wrong on that, let me know in the comments, but I don't think he's connecting. And in addition to that, his halting manner of delivery is setting himself up for cross-examination.
Good morning, Officer Brunson.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Doing well, thank you. I think I understand your distribution of duties that evening and how you ended up at Southern Regional. And that's where you encountered Mr. Asbury.
Correct.
Um, at that point, had you spoken to Detective Thomas?
I believe so. Yes.
Was it your understanding that it was Detective Thomas who processed the vehicle that Mr. Asbury was driving and Mr. Houston was found in?
Correct. The dark color Lexus. Yes.
Okay. Did you have any other knowledge of the search of that vehicle at that time?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Were you aware that a firearm was found in that vehicle?
Yes.
Do you know whether that firearm was processed for fingerprints or DNA or?
I'm not sure.
Was the crime scene unit at the home before you left there?
I believe so. I can't recall.
But you wouldn't have had anything to do with searching for shell casings or anything of that nature.
Not generally, unless asked by my supervisors.
Do you remember being that evening?
Yes.
And did you?
No, sir, I didn't.
Do you have any information at all about the ownership of the weapon that was found in the vehicle?
No.
And is that something that you and Mr. Asbury discussed?
I can't recall.
Everything that you were able to talk to Mr. Asbury about, was that at Southern Regional?
Correct.
Did you have anything else to do with the processing of the car or of the firearm that was found in it?
No, sir.
Did your responsibility pretty much end after that evening?
That is correct.
Were you asked to contribute to a supplemental report or any kind of narrative?
No, sir.
Or did you prepare or write your own narrative at any?
No, sir, I didn't.
And finally, do you have any knowledge at all of what was found in terms of shells and casings there?
No, sir, I don't.
Thank you, officer. I think that's all I have for you.
Thank you.
So now we know why he didn't remember anything. He never wrote anything down. He never completed a supplemental report on somebody else's report. And basically, he made no notes about anything he did that night. He's testifying entirely from memory, and that memory could very well be corrupted. And of course, that's certainly something that the defense is going to argue when they have an opportunity to argue this case, that this witness in particular just didn't remember very much. And that was true from the very first, answer that he gave. But the thing that really sticks out in my mind about this particular witness, and I badly truncated the state's examination of him, because most of his answers were very much the same as what you saw in the first 10 minutes of the video. And I mean, no disrespect to the officer, right? He's trying to remember what happened a long time ago, and we all do that. I do the thing where I say, a lot more than I should. I try to watch myself, but, sometimes you just can't. There I go again. I'll have to make a blooper out of that one. But you just can't keep an eye on what you're saying all the time. And as a result, as he's trying to remember this, he realizes time is passing and the jury is sitting there going, okay, let's go here. And he can't help it. He just does that. So it tends to drag out the answers, and it tends to drag out the examination. And when you call a witness, you shouldn't call them just because they were there. You should call them because they contribute something definite to the scene and definite to the outcome of the trial. This man was an immaterial witness, and as a result of that, I don't think he did the prosecution any good. And you saw what the defender did. The defender got up, asked him a couple of questions. If this guy had in any way harmed the defendant's case, he would have had a lot more questions for him. But as it was, he just wanted to know about some of the crime scene stuff, like the shell casings and when the car was processed and who owned the gun. And that's because those are the things that are probably important to him, and this guy doesn't know anything about that. It will be interesting to see how the evidence develops here, because in this particular instance, it looked to me like this witness just happened to be one of the first guys up and didn't really know that much. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here today. If you have the opportunity today, try to do one kind thing to help somebody else. Any kind thing will do. Buy somebody a Coke, get them a cup of coffee, anything that makes their day better. That would be a way to help make the world a better place. Because after all, isn't that what we're all after? Now, YouTube has a few things that they think you might be interested in, and they're going to be showing you that right up there.